Hi YouTube! So today in this video I'm actually going to be going and printing 3 new morphs or variants of reptiles / amphibians that we already have on the shop. I know that I said the next stickers that I was going to make was going to be the spiders and then the turtles. I've been a little bit busy, so I haven't really been able to do those quite yet, but I did have enough time to go ahead and make some albino stickers for our most popular of our 3 amphibian / reptile sections that we have on the shop. So I am going to go over to our workshop, our office today, and print those out and take you guys with me. I think that they came out really good, just the way that I designed them. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that they print just as good as they look digitally. So I guess we'll go ahead and head over and see how they look. Made it over to the office. As you see, I need to turn everything on, open up my Cricut, gotta turn it on, got to turn on my printer, get it all set up. There we go. Have my laptop already set up and ready. But I wanted to show you guys what one of the stickers is that I designed, and it is an albino ball python. That is the first one that I did. Why are you not opening? Here we go. Let me flip you guys around so that I can show you. So here it is. This is the very first sticker that I'm going to print out. An albino ball python. I'm gonna be doing more morphs, of course, in the future, but I figured that for starting morphs, albino is pretty universal for all of the reptiles and amphibians, and it is kind of the most popular, I guess, across the board. So this is what the albino sticker for the ball python's gonna look like, but I need to get its page set up and then send it over to the printer. So let me go ahead and do that, and I'll come back to you guys whenever it's printed out. All right, guys, it has finished printing. That's what the page looked like. And if I come over this way, here they are. I personally, I'm not a super fan of albinos themselves, just because of the red eyes. I find it a little bit creepy. So for me, they still look a little off somehow, the sticker, but I think it's just the red eyes throwing me off. I like everything else though. I think all of the colors came out really nice on here. Even the red came out nice. Even if I don't like it as an eyeball color, I still think that the actual color itself came out good. And I'm hoping that everybody does think that these albinos that I did look correct. I think that they look correct, and I've asked a couple people and they say that they like how they look, but I mean, I know everybody has their own opinion of how things look. Like, even with just the way that I've done the normal types, there's going to be people like, oh, that's not exactly correct, which for ball pythons, it's because there's just so much variation in a normal type color and pattern anyway. But I think that this is all encompassing of an albino, and I think that the other ones are too, and hopefully they come out as good as this one does. But now, of course, we have to laminate and cut these out, but I'm gonna let them sit here for a little bit, as I always do, just to make sure that they're dry. I don't really think that I have to do that necessarily, but I still just like to do it just to be safe. So I'll come back whenever I'm ready to do some more stuff with these. Alright, I went ahead and laminated the sheet off camera, but I'm going to get it stuck down on our grippy grid. I'm using the strong grip because the standard grip seems to lose its sticking kind of power, its grippiness. A little fast, not super fast, but whenever you're doing a whole lot of stuff, it just kind of loses its stick a lot more. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this fed in like so. And let me come back over to my laptop and tell it to start. So let me click the button. And there we go. That's gonna start, and I will come back whenever it's fully cut out and we'll see how they do. All right, the stickers are done. Let me tell it to release. There we go. And let me get you guys situated. And let's see how they did. All right. They already look really good. Let's see. I like to get the edge loose so that it comes off good. There we go. I think you guys could see that. But yeah, it looks like they all did nice, which I can only get 4 of these per sheet, so you kind of want all of them to do good. I mean, I could make them smaller. I have all of the stickers being 4 inches, for all of them, all of my stickers that I do. But since this is like a big oval, it always ends up kind of being a larger sticker. But I think it's fine. There we go. We got all of our first albino ball pythons done. And so now we'll move on to the next albino. So this is the next albino I'm going to end up doing, is a little leopard gecko albino. And leopard geckos actually have 3 different types of albinism that were all found or discovered by 3 different people, so they all have different names. But they're all very similar. So I kind of just did like a generic kind of albino version of a leopard gecko. The real big difference, I guess, between the 3 of them is like their eye colors. One's really dark red, one's kind of like a paler red, and then one's kind of more like kind of normal eye color, but lighter, I guess. So I just did red, since most albinos end up with kind of pinky red eyes. This one, when I was doing it, I was staring at it so long, I was like, this just looks like a normal leopard gecko. But then I looked at it in comparison to my normal type leopard gecko, and I was like, oh no, I guess I can tell that this is an albino. It's just looking at it in this kind of way for so long, it was starting to look like yeah, that's what a leopard gecko looks like. But anyway, I digress. This is the next one that I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to go ahead and, just like the ball python, get its page set up and then get it printed out and come back to you guys once I have it to show you. Here is the big reveal of the albino leopard geckos. I feel like you can't really see their color as good. My light might be not as good right now since it's getting later in the day. But yeah, that's how they look. I'm gonna let them dry for a little bit. I was only able, because of the new Cricut update, I actually had to take off 2 leopard geckos on this sheet. I used to be able to get, how many was it, like 13 or something like that? Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Yeah, 13. I used to be able to get 13, but now I can only get 11, which is not that big of a deal. I don't really know why the update did that, but it's alright because 11 is still a decent amount. So I'm gonna let these dry and then I will come back to you guys when we're at the cutting part of these. Alright, I went ahead and laminated this one. So let's go ahead and take it over here to our Cricut. Oh, there we go. Trying to do it one-handed. And let's get this stuck down. And we'll see how this goes doing one-handed on this. Oh, that went almost perfect. But we can go ahead get it started on here. And then I will come back when it's time to pick them off the sheet. Let me get you guys set up again. Over here. And release our stickers. And we will see how these ones did. They look like they've done good. So, not too worried about it. But you never really know until you do that. And it looks like I was correct. They all look like they did decently well. They might have shifted maybe a little bit on some, but I'm still happy with how they came out. There we go. I think you guys can see him okay. Our little albino leopard geckos. So let's go ahead and get them all picked off of the grid. And my dad and stepmom just came back, so you might be hearing them. I don't know if you guys can hear down the stairs or not, but where my office is right at the top of the staircase, so I can hear them. I didn't close my door because they weren't inside. They weren't here earlier. But now they are. And our last little guy. Let's see how he does. There we go. Ah. His little tiny pieces didn't go with him. Oops. I'm gonna try to put these back on there. I don't want him to lose his sticky anywhere. So let me just go like that. But again, there we go. That's how they look. And so now we're on to the final albino for our first attempt at doing some new morphs. Here is the very last of the albinos that I've done. It is the Pac-Man frog. And I've never actually, I don't think, seen an albino Pac-Man frog. I mean, I think I've seen this color before, but I don't think I'd realized it was an albino because they're still pretty vibrant, you know, yellow and orange. I know that like the ball python and the leopard geckos are also yellow, but I feel like when I see them, they look a little bit more muted, a little lighter colored still than a Pac-Man albino from what I could tell. So I'm hoping that this is correct. I think it is. But yeah, I feel like I've never seen one and realized it was albino, at least. But I'm going to get this printed out and we'll see how it looks once it's all printed. I'm sure its colors will come out good like the other ones, but I'm still excited to see what it looks like once it's actually printed on the paper instead of on the computer screen. So I will go ahead and send that over to the printer and get back with you guys. As you can see, the Pac-Man frogs printed out. I don't know if again, it's the lighting. The lighting's starting to get really bad because we actually have like a hailstorm or something coming in, which is kind of crazy. We don't really get those a whole lot, but so I can't really tell if the colors didn't come out as nicely as I wanted them to, or if it's just the lighting. But in this lighting, the outline and the eyeball are a little bit too close in color for my liking. I feel like they look, I knew that they were going to be a little close because of how they look on my computer too, but I was hoping that they would print a little not as muddy, I guess, looking, but again, that might just be the lighting starting to get bad, so I'm not entirely sure. But other than that, I think that the colors came out pretty good. I hope that you can tell, like the yellow and the little pale belly, I think still came out good. So the only thing I'm not entirely sure about is the eyeball. But again, that might be just the lighting. So I'll let these dry, get them laminated, and come back to you guys once it's cutting time. Okay, these have been cut out. Let me go ahead and get rid of all that excess paper. Get these peeled off. There we go. Our little Pac-Man frog. Let's see how the other ones did. It looks like they, again, might have shifted a little bit, but not enough that I really care. It seems like that might just be kind of what happens with my stickers, the way that my Cricut cuts them out, but that's all right. It might be like with all their updates and stuff. But there we go. There's our little Pac-Man frogs, and I will show you guys the end product of our albinos, our 3 albinos, all together. But there they are, Pac-Man frog. So here we have the albinos of the ball python, the leopard gecko, and the Pac-Man frog. As you can see, I have the normals up at the top and our very new albinos that we just printed today at the bottom. And I think having them like this to compare them to, I think that they are pretty apparent that it's the albino. So I'm hoping that people like them and come over to purchase them. I know that I got a request or a ask about an albino Pac-Man frog or strawberry Pac-Man frog morph, so maybe maybe somebody will come and get this little guy, I don't know. But that's what they look like, and that's gonna be all that we do in this video. So let us go over to our little outro. Okay guys, that's gonna be the end of this video. I hope that you liked it. We got our 3 new albinos done. I'm hoping to continue doing the albinos for the rest of the reptiles and amphibians that we have on the shop already. I am still planning on doing the spiders and the turtles, but like I said at the beginning, I just haven't had a whole lot of time to actually design those out yet, because these, like the reptiles I have already designed, so changing the colors and stuff was relatively easy. But with the spiders and the turtles, I have to actually design those from nothing, from scratch. So I haven't had enough time to do that just yet. But I'm hoping to get those done soon. I'm kind of in like a push for getting some other work done right now. So whenever that calms down, I definitely will have more time to do those. But yeah, like I said, that's going to be the end of this video. If you liked the video, please leave a like. If you want to continue on this journey with me, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you get notified when I drop a new video. Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. And I'll have links to all of my social medias for my shop down in the description. I'll have my TikTok, Instagram, my actual Etsy shop link, my email, and then I also have all of that on a LinkTree as well if you want to do that instead of clicking the individual links. I think that that's everything that I need to say. Still trying to get used to all of the YouTube things. What is it that you need to list off at the end? I watch YouTube so much, so you'd think that I actually know what to say, but then whenever it comes to actually saying it, it's a little different. But yeah, that's it. Hope you like this video. I hope that you continue to follow my journey and be a part of it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, YouTube!